It's Saturday night. Welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. And here's the thing in the news in the moment is the trial of Michael Jackson's doctor has... Michael Jackson's doctor has a fan in the building. That started this week, and obviously it's a very sad story, but it's also fascinating as well. The prosecution have based their case on the fact that the doctor is bad. He's bad. He's really, really bad. Everyone has said that Michael was in great mental health the day before he died. His bodyguard said that, his doctor said that, his monkey said that. Everyone is... In the house, they found 4 gallons of powerful anaesthetic. Now, the only reason you would need 4 gallons of anaesthetic in your house is if Jedward were coming round and you needed to knock them out again. The jury were asked if they were Michael Jackson fans to ensure a fair trial, because obviously, you know, who isn't a Michael Jackson fan? The world's full of them. You know, you think it's not going to be a fair trial, so they had to fill in a form and everything. I don't think it's the jury the doctor needs to worry about. Have you seen this footage of the judge arriving at the courtroom? Look at this. Not going to be fair. Now, here's a disgraceful story this week. You must have seen this. It's reported that a Manchester City footballer refused to play for his team. Did you see this story? Carlos Tevez. That name rings a bell. I don't know if you... Actually, look at him. I think his face rings a bell as well. The bells. OK, let's go on with the show. We've got a great lineup for you tonight this week, including, and I'm delighted to be able to say this, live music from the fabulous Mr. CeeLo Green. There he is. CeeLo Green. OK, CeeLo will be playing a whole song for you later on. Let's have a look and see who's gracing my green room for your viewing pleasure this evening. My first guests are quite simply the stars of the biggest show on telly right now. It is Gary and Tulisa from the X Factor. So, I want to get this right so I'm not confused. I was talking to you earlier. Gary, you've got the boys. That's right, in the X Factor.
Am I allowed to? Oh, yeah, we got them last Sunday, didn't we?
You've got the boys.
I can't keep up with what's first and second and what I can't tell you. And can I tell you who's out now?
It's like having someone's grandpa in the room, isn't it?
I'll tell you who's out.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell.
But it's lovely to have you here. Gary and Tulisa on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Gary and Tulisa, OK. It's a great start. Next up, my next guest is quite simply the host of a mid-morning show on North Norfolk Digital Radio. It's Alan Partridge, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Alan.
Hi.
Alan, you have been, if you like, I'm filled you on the show.
Thrilled to be on the show, Jonathan.
And you've been an inspiration to most of us who work in TV and most of us who do the chat show. Have looked to you.
Absolutely, and thank you for lending me the jacket tonight.
OK. I think we've all been inspired by you.
Thank you. Well, I'm inspired by your marvellous sense of humour. Really is good humour.
Alan Partridge is on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Norfolk's finest. Thank you. That's going to be a relaxing encounter. And my next guest is one of our finest film actors. He's a movie star for a very good reason. He just burns up the screen whenever he's on it. It's Mr. Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor. Good Lord, he's a handsome young man. He's a handsome young man right there, with a full head of hair and many of his own teeth. Gary, Tulisa, I don't know if you know this, Ewan has a fabulous singing voice. Have you ever heard him sing?
I have. Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge,
Amazing.
of course. I saw him in Guys and Dolls. He was great. He's also got quite a sad backstory. You know, he used to be a heroin addict in Edinburgh. Then he got a job at the Moulin Rouge. Then, once he became a Jedi, he got killed by Darth Vader. So that's a... He's straight through the boot camp, I think, don't you? OK, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. And if you were watching a couple of weeks ago, I've asked Ewan about this. She's agreed this. We haven't asked the other guests yet. A couple of weeks ago, we had Hugh Jackman on, and he wanted to show he can do his own stunts, and we fired him out of a cannon. We really did. And he came over and landed here, and we had him on the show. It was a very dramatic, exciting thing. And I asked Ewan whether he could try something. He has said that he doesn't mind giving it a go. He's going to jump over the other guests on a motorcycle on the show this evening. Isn't that right, Ewan?
That's right.
OK. And I know...
That's all right.
Although we haven't asked the other guests yet, I know after that response you're all going to say yes.
Yeah.
OK, that's fantastic. So later on, Ewan will be jumping over to Lisa, Gary and Alan Partridge on his own motorcycle, and I can see you're especially looking forward to that, Alan.
What about CeeLo?
CeeLo, no, come on, he's American. He doesn't have to join in. Well, that's a show. Now, we've had a few complaints, I'm afraid, and we should deal with this, because, you know, I've learned from past experience, and when there are complaints, you should try and deal with them straight away. I've moved on. Now, we've had a few complaints about me pretending, I emphasise the word pretending, to smash a frog in a bag of salad last week. And the bag was on a string and jumping up and down. It was clearly didn't actually have a frog in. So you know, I apologise if it was a real frog, but then I thought, well, you know what, things like that go on all over the world. Did you know, and we found out this week, there's a stand, a little stall in Peru that sells for people doing frog juice. They blend them up and they sell you the juice of frogs. It's a sort of Coca-Cola, if you will. Frog juice. You can actually buy frog juice. There's the frog juice. I know, it's horrible. But apparently, and this is how they sell it to people, they claim it's good for the lovemaking. They call it the Peruvian Viagra. Okay? And I'm assuming they call it that because you can't possibly keep it down. I've got some here. We thought we'd try some. We got some flown in. So I thought, in the interest of the show, I'll try some up and see what it's. So, cheers. Ladies. Lively. I wouldn't want that. And I don't need the help, so I'm just going to give it a... OK. Let's get my first guest out, ladies and gentlemen. They are the stars of the X Factor. Will you please welcome Gary and Tulisa? Great to see you again. Come on in, guys. Come and take your seat. Fabulous to have you here. Wow, what a welcome. Scooch, don't be shy. Scooch over a bit. Scooch over. That's a lot of whooping going on right there. Anyway, it's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
So you're up to the stage now. It's an exciting period now. We've gone on from the audition stages. You're in the houses now. You've got them in there. You've been out to with your lot in Greece. Mm-hmm. You've been out in LA with your lot.
Yep.
Did you know beforehand when they came out, you must have already had an inkling as to which ones you would probably send back?
There's 3 of the guys I didn't picture in my last 8, and they won me over completely.
Oh, really?
Well, so Lisa was putting the bands together, actually, even before you had the category. You were doing it at boot camp, so she was... You know, obviously, for the bands who've historically in this competition really not had much of a chance, I think this is their best chance this year because Talisa's in charge of them.
Well, it's out already that the...
I do. You know what? I must say, they're lucky because I think this year they're going to be mentored like never before.
Let's talk about the people you had helping you out there. You had Jessie J come out to help you.
Yeah.
I love Jessie J. And did you know her from before?
I'd met her a few times, but not properly. But I was a big fan of her, and I thought, you know what, if I wanted someone credible that I thought could really help me out with picking acts, I thought she'd be the one.
And you've got Robbie helping you as well.
Yep.
Which is lovely, because you guys are, you know, close again, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, and Robbie came out wearing something quite special.
Well...
When I say came out wearing something quite special, that's oddly appropriate. There you go.
He's a shy boy. But yeah, he'd seen the show previously and thought, well, this is how they do it every year, so out he come.
So that's a bit of Sunita action going on right there. Okay. I love watching Gary on the show. Don't you like Gary? Because he's got a very strange body language, doesn't he? He sits out there. And then when something happens, he looks at the other judge and goes...
He crosses his legs under the table,
Does he?
yeah.
Yeah, because you sort of don't move physically much, and you don't get moved that much emotionally. You're the one who doesn't cry out there, aren't you?
Yeah, but we sit out there for about 9 hours.
Yeah.
And you've got to be yourself, because the first hour of the day, you spend it being really sort of helpful. And, you know, if you go away and you really work, you can really get somewhere, you know. Within an hour, that was absolutely hideous. Get off that set. And, of course, that's when they start filming.
Yeah. To be fair, you've both stood on that spot, not literally, but figuratively, you've been in that situation where you've gone out in front of an audience and said, here I am, do you like what I've got to offer? So you know what it feels like.
Not only that, I think the most bizarre thing is it being all of our first year on the show, hopefully not the last. For us, we felt like we were being judged. Well, I don't know about you.
Yeah, totally.
Well, no, hang on a minute, I'm talking about take that here. Let me just push you out of the equation.
Because there was another show where Simon Cowell was judging you. Did you not get to see that? No. During the show, we were tuning over and he was going, I don't like what she said. But did he give you feedback? I mean, because presumably it's a big show for ITV, but he kind of runs it. It's his baby. So there must have been a couple of calls early on where he told you what he thought of what you were doing.
Well, obviously, only just getting to know Simon recently, the only feedback that I actually got was no notes.
That's all he says?
No notes.
No notes. That's a good thing,
apparently that's like
because normally he tells... Did he give you any notes?
I got loads of notes.
Do you know yet... You mentioned the fact that you've loved doing it and you said, hopefully not the last year, they're going to bring the show back. I'm fairly certain about that. Have they made any noises to you about doing it? And if they do, you clearly want to stay. Gary, would you say yes?
I've loved it. Absolutely enjoyed every minute, and would love to do it again.
So it's a yes from you?
Yep.
It's a yes from you. You know, I mentioned earlier on, you don't show your emotions much. I've seen you cry on it. Once, OK. And that's because the lady reminded you of your mum.
You don't cry at judges' houses?
No.
Don't you?
No.
Interesting.
I nearly did, and luckily they cut the shot.
OK.
It's like they were waiting for, is she going to cry? Leave the camera on, leave the camera on. And I was holding it back. Oh, don't cry. And then the minute they went cut, I went...
I want to show you this montage. I was talking earlier on about the emotions, and I want to show this is showing the various moments of some of the high emotion we've enjoyed on the X Factor so far. Have a look at this.
If this audition goes the way I think it goes, it's gonna be amazing because I had a dream.
You just make the whole show worthwhile. I'm so glad we came here.
You're not going to turn it on?
Gonna have to wait for that one.
I think we'll see you cry by the end of the series.
We need him to cry. We have to just maybe make him watch like a movie before he goes on set with Free Willy.
The thing is,
Don't bring Dappy into this, all right? Let's leave your cousin out of this, shall we? You both look tremendous on the show. I mean, you look great because you're a beautiful young woman. You have shown enormous willpower the last few years because you've never looked more handsome. He's never looked better.
Thank you.
You've never looked better.
Thank you.
And I know how much work's gone into it because I've bumped into Gary a few times socially and he's got so much willpower. Chips come past and Gary does this kind of thing. He goes, no. Dessert comes over, no, thank you. It's always no with the handle, isn't it? It must be something you miss so much that you would find it almost impossible to resist, or have you now got it so under control you're not going to waver?
You know what, there's one thing. Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
From the chippy.
Well, we got some fish and chips in. And we thought it might be nice to see you put some of that weight back on. So if you want to bring it in, this is from the local chippy. You don't have to. Are you gonna break the diet?
Let's go.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Fish and chips in London.
We've all...
Wow.
But you know what? Hold on. I think we should save you from yourself.
Cold.
Yeah. Why don't we eat it and then you can still be really good? Yeah. No, honestly, Gary, I'm telling you, you will so thank me in the morning that you're not having...
Do you know what that is? No. You know what that is? No. That's bloody mean.
We're done good.
Thanks, sweets.
What? Go on then, Barlow. Fill your boots.
Thank you,
We're going to take a break. Come back afterwards. You'll see us all still sitting here and Gary will hopefully put on at least a stone. Don't go away. We'll see you after the break. Barlow, you didn't hang about.
Lovely.
A moment on your lips, a lifetime on your hips. Oh, good, we'll have some later. Anyway. Let me ask you about how friends and family felt when they heard you doing the X Factor thing, because it was a kind of an unusual move for both of you in a way, because you both have successful careers in the industry already in a different way. For start, what did the N-Dubs guys think? Because Dappy came out and he said maybe it wasn't a good move. He expressed his opinion that way.
No, he didn't. He came to me, he said, oh, I'm so proud of you, it's amazing, and then he went on Twitter and had a rant.
So the papers reported something incorrectly?
No,
how does that happen?
Disgusting.
No, he did go on Twitter afterwards and have a rant. He just does it. He just likes a bit of drama.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't pay any attention to anything he says.
Do you like all kinds of music? I mean, because we think of you as writing, you know... And you've written some fabulous tunes. I mean, genuinely. But no, you know I mean that.
Thank you.
At last, the vindication he's been waiting for all his life. No. But I wonder whether you like other types of music. You know, do you listen to grime? Do you like garage?
This is
Garage.
Deep garage?
No one that listens to garage says garage.
Dirty... Well, Toulouse.
Let's go pop on the old garage, shall we? Bit of grime on the side.
Because I'm old school. So the garage. Do you like the garage?
You know what? I like pretty much all kinds of music.
So
I must say, I've had a bit of an education because when the series first started, Children in Need were asking me about a single for this Christmas.
Yes.
And I thought then, wouldn't Talisa be great to do something? So we had this whole idea, and I came to you, and you said, oh, I'll be up for something definitely. And I said, well, you know, can you think of any MCs? And actually, everybody you said to me, I sort of secretly made a note of.
Had you heard of any of them?
I've heard of a couple of them, but not all of them.
Yeah. Right.
And went off and made some phone calls, and that's what we've done for this this year's Children in Need single.
For Christmas. What's the single called?
It's called Teardrop.
Teardrop. Are you going to be... the Take That boys must be sitting home saying, when's he going to finish? We want to get back on the road, we've got to earn some money. So, you've got to take your responsibility to them, you know, seriously.
Well, do you know what? We've had pretty much 5 years full on. We've just finished a big tour before the summer, and I think everyone's enjoying a bit of a break.
And what a great tour, what a huge tour for you. And presumably it's quite hard to top that, isn't it? I mean, you come back, how do you know, you have to do it, it has to be bigger and better, or can you go small? Can you do an unplugged type thing?
No, I think we're always keen on bigger and better every time.
So what outfits would you spring on us next time? We enjoyed the clowns and the circus and all that stuff.
I don't know, actually. What outfits?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of this next time.
Kind of an accountant sort of look.
It didn't take long, did it?
You look great, you know you look great. OK, well, I hope you do get back, because, you know, there's a huge audience who want to see Take That live.
We'll be back.
We want to see that. We'll be back. And with or without Robbie?
Well, I do know Rob's doing a solo record.
Are you helping him on that?
I am. I've been writing a lot with him, and in fact, when we did Judges' Houses, we did some writing and recording before we even sat down.
And are you N-Dubs happening still? Is that going on? Is that gone now? What's going on with you?
Exactly the same scenario.
Having a break?
Yeah, having a break, and we will be back. Everyone's made a whole big hoo-ha out of it, and, you know, we're split, that's it, it's over. It's not. We're just taking a bit of time out. Dappy's doing his solo album, #1
Yeah.
this
Well,
week.
congratulations to Dappy. He's a nice young man. I've met him. I like Dappy. And Fazer, he's got his hands full right now. We know that.
Fazer's producing with everyone. He's even producing my album as well.
Wow.
I've just been in the studio this week recording my album.
So you still got time to do it, even in the midst of it all, in the midst of the X Factor sort of madness. Well, congratulations, both of you. You know, congratulations for your solo career, but you've given... I didn't feel it needed it necessarily, but you gave X Factor a whole new shot on the arm and a whole new kind of boost. So it's exciting to watch, certainly. And if you need someone to replace Louis next year, you know I can do a very good Irish accent and I can cry like that, I'm telling you.
Louis is great.
He is great. So are you guys. It's Gary and Talisa, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Gary Barlow, Talisa, ladies and gentlemen. I should say thanks to all the people that have written in and tweeted about the show. We've had a lot of support out there, and some people have been not critical, but they've pointed out things that obviously bother them. Especially there was one tweet from a man who goes by the name of Scoff on Twitter. I can't give you his real identity, but no doubt he sat at home watching with his silver hair and his multicoloured dream coat. Anyway, he tweeted saying about the desk gear, he said, "Is Jonathan Ross sitting in a big hot dog?" That's what that was the thing that bothered Scof about the show. Well, how dare you, Schofield? I've seen your shows, and your cube looks like a big cube. God, this is... Does it look like a hot dog? Yes! I tell you, this cushion's uncomfortable as well. I'll just get rid of that. OK, my next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is here to talk about his book. It chronicles the devastating lows and the moderate highs of his career so far. Will you please welcome a unique broadcaster, Mr. Alan Partridge. Lovely to meet you at last, Alan. It's a thrill. Well, I'm so excited to meet you. I've been a fan of yours for years, Alan.
Yeah.
Did you have a nice journey down? You came down from Norwich just to be with us?
Yeah, I did. Hi. No. No, I did. I came down on the A11, you know, in a blue Vauxhall Corsa.
Okay.
But I was cut up by a white van man.
Oh.
Yeah, which was very annoying. Really furious I was, but then further down the road I saw that he careered off the road and the fire brigade were having to cut him out using sort of those electric cutting. So I thought to myself, well, you know, what goes around comes around.
Now, we have the book here. It's called I, Partridge. We Need to Talk About Alan. That's what the book's called. Are you pleased with it, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, if I can use a swear word, I'm chuffed to buggery. I think it's the best book I've ever written, and one of the best books I've ever read.
Wow, that's high praise indeed. Lots of celebrity autobiographies come out this time of year. This is we have an all. Do you look at the competition? Have you read many others?
I love other people's autobiographies, Jonathan, and I consume them avariciously. Oh. Richard Hammond, I think, is my favourite. Yeah. He put his out not long ago. He's had his ups and downs. I mean, I think we were all devastated. I think we all were when we heard he'd been involved in the Morrison's adverts.
Oh.
What can you say? You offer words of support.
It's tragic.
Yeah. You know, well, I'm always here for him if he needs to talk.
Well, that's nice to know. Do you know him, or do you have many showbiz pals?
I think I can count the number of friends I have in the industry on my thumbs and big toes. Okay. Or the fingers of one hand, not including the thumb. Okay. I've got four. I've got four friends.
Okay. 4 celebrity friends. Could you? Who are they?
Eamon Holmes, Richard Hammond, Sue Cook. Shit, that's 3. Oh, and Gary Barlow. Yeah.
Okay.
My new best friend.
So you met? Is Gary, first time you met Gary tonight?
Yeah, and he's my new best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like his music? Do you know about the X Factor whole deal?
Oh yeah, I love X Factor. I think I have to say Gary is a welcome shot in the arm for all of that. It really needs it, and of course he provides a lovely counterbalance to Louis Walsh, who I think everyone agrees is an awful man.
You know, let me talk about the autobiography, because you've had your ups and you've had your downs, of course, and you talk about your own battles with various personal demons, and your weight, of course, you've been up and down on that, we've seen that. You were very, very into chocolate at one stage.
Yes, I was medically addicted to Toblerone. Oh. For a time I was mildly overweight.
Well, what are you, about 21 stone then?
Yeah, it was about 18, 19.
Okay, okay. And it was particularly that chocolate, that confectionery that you craved?
Yes, it was, yeah. I should point out that weight was... I lost that weight very, very soon after, because the sudden weight loss left me with masses of excess skin on my stomach, which when I was clothed, wasn't a problem. I just tuck it in my jeans.
Yeah. Okay.
But when I was naked, it looked like a big pink sporran.
Oh. Well, and you look... Do you have it now? Or
well, I had it surgically removed.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I asked that the skin be donated to medical science. Yeah. And I've drawn enormous comfort from the thought that one day a flap of my tummy may be used to rebuild a child's face.
Okay. It's quite... quite lovely, really, I suppose. And you're a very giving person, we can see that. How did you lose the weight, though? Because that dramatic weight loss.
I tried a cheap version of a gastric band, which is essentially just me wearing a child's belt. But I passed out when I tried to bend down and do my shoelace.
You're very frank in the book. I noticed, and I'm surprised at how frank you are in the book, about the physical side of life, about your sexual experiences.
Well, I think I am these days. I'm very sort of open. I used to be quite stuffy, a bit of a square, but now I've really sort of, you know, I took some advice from But yeah, I'm pretty open about my sexuality.
And you're comfortable about talking about it? You don't mind sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question then. Your first wife, you were fairly inexperienced.
I was when I met
married.
Carol. Yeah, I mean, I was a virgin, whereas Carol had been hymen-free for the best part of 6 years.
Okay.
But these days I'm very relaxed about discussing sexuality. I mean, I used to think no one wants to hear about an over-the-hill guy and his sexual proclivities. But then I thought, no, they do. Yeah.
But what about now? Is there a special lady in your life now?
Yeah, I'm dating at the moment. I'm sure she actually won't mind me saying this, but she's a retired primary school teacher with dyed hair. The other week we went out and had what I can describe as a very sexy day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Afterwards we went back to my place, and instead of... she suggested going to the bedroom, and I said, no, let's do it here. And we did it right there in the conservatory.
Oh, okay.
I lay her down on the terracotta floor. Then I remembered we had underfloor heating, been on all day, and there was a risk of her getting chilblains on her buttocks.
Oh, okay.
So I quickly removed some of the tethered pads from the wicker furniture, placed them under her bottom and shoulder blades, and then just told her to keep as still as possible.
Well, that's good. Well, that would do the trick.
It would. Yeah. And then she placed her legs at 10 to 2.
Oh, dear.
I don't actually know what she's over 56. What am I talking about? No, 20 past 8. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess in a way she was making a sort of... which was actually the time, so in a way she was making a sort of sexy human clock.
For you, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know how it is, though. You know, you get two randy divorcees on a heated conservatory floor with their organs within spitting distance of each other.
Well, they're going to be fireworks.
They're going to be sparks.
That's as simple as that. OK. Well, I'm pleased to know you're still active and enjoying life in that way. One thing I've admired about you over the years, Alan, is that you're very much an ideas man. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I often joke to people, I've got so many ideas up my sleeves, I can't wear a T-shirt. But seriously,
But they're not all good ideas, it has to be said, and I hope you don't mind me saying this. I mean, I remember hearing that you'd pitched various shows to the BBC.
I don't really want to go through a list of my portfolio of TV ideas.
OK, just you don't want to mention any. OK, fine.
All right, one. Okay. Dogs on Fogel. Ben Fogel is given a 1-mile head start and is then pursued by hunting dogs.
Well, that seems to be a popular concept. That's the idea on the match.
Yeah, well, I don't limit myself to terrestrial television. I'm very interested in cracking the Chinese market.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got
that's the biggest market in the world.
Well, there's loads of them. There are.
Yes,
that's a fact.
I can't dispute that fact.
And the other idea is called Chun Wang King.
I almost dread to ask what
it's Alexa Chung, Gok Wan, and Jonathan King.
Wow. And okay. Chun Wang King. Oh, so you have the film, and what are they doing?
I've absolutely no idea.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Alan Partridge, and I'm a big fan of the book. Partridge. You know, I won't go so far as to say you taught me everything I knew, but certainly I've studied your career with a lot of interest, as we all have. Great to have you here. Mr. Alan Partridge, ladies and gentlemen. And don't go anywhere. Before you go away now, we're going to set this thing up because earlier on the show I told you that Ewan McGregor has agreed to try to jump over the other guests on the show. He's going to jump over Mr. Partridge here and Talisa and Gary. You're up for this?
Yeah, sure.
It's a real motorcycle. He's going to jump right over here on the shoe. We need to get you in your gear. Here, put on this protective suit. I mean, it's not really protective, but it'll keep you closer. You put that on there. We've got Gary and Talisa are already out in position. Right there. Alan, if you... You can put it on over your clothes.
OK.
Just put it on over your clothes. Ewan's good on the bike. Looking good, Ewan. Alan Partridge, ladies and gentlemen, you're good to go. If you want to get down there, lie down there. next to them now. Okay. You know what? We were going to have CeeLo as well, but he needs to get ready for the music, so why don't you come over here a bit? Let's just move you a bit more along there. Make it a little bit more interesting. So join me in part 3 when Ewan McGregor will be jumping over our guests on a motorbike. Don't go away. OK, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Now, before the break, we were setting this up. Ewan McGregor said he would join us on the sofa tonight, but he would jump over our other guests on a motorbike by way of an exciting entrance. As you can see, we're all set. We've got Gary Chalisa and Alan Partridge lying down over there. Ewan, you're good on the bike there. You ready to go? OK, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Fantastic piece of stunt work in the tank. That's an exciting start to the interview. Thank you for doing that. Wow.
My pleasure.
You feel good?
Yeah, feel good.
Look great. Look great. Let's start that one. Let me take that off you. That was great. Start that way there. Ewan McGregor. Ewan, come and take a seat. That was right. And thank you, of course, to Gary and Chalisa and Alan Partridge for taking part there as well.
Great to meet you, really. Huge fan.
Is that OK? You're cool?
Yeah, fine. Don't worry about this.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
really.
I'm a huge fan of, I've got to say, I actually think the first 3 Star Wars films are nowhere near as good as the 3 that you were in.
That's interesting.
And I know I'm probably the only person who thinks that. So there you go. I don't care what anyone else says. No. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Alan Partridge, thank you. What a brave man, if not necessarily a very clever one. How about that for an entrance by a superstar actor on a show riding on a bike over people? Ewan McGregor, that was fabulous. What a great start. Because we know from having seen on TV that I know you love your motorcycling. You do enjoy it. It's a hobby, it's a pursuit of yours?
I do, I love it, yeah. I love it. I'm not allowed to do it when I'm working. There's an insurance clause that means that I'm not supposed to ride a motorcycle while I'm making a movie.
You came off it once. I think you were in Scotland. You came off one pretty badly once, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes. It was with my... Yes, it was a sad story. It was the first ride I'd ever had with my father, who learnt to ride a motorcycle after me. And we went for about 300 miles, and at the very end of it, I came off really badly in front of him.
But you were OK? You weren't...
I was all right, yeah. But he shit himself. And my brother... my brother, who was... I think he was in Iraq. And a few days later, he read on the front page of one of the tabloids that I'd had a 180-mile-an-hour crash. You know? And he was like, oh, my God, what happened? But anyway... Probably 28 miles an hour.
28 miles an hour, and your father's pants bore the brunt of the force of the shock.
It certainly did.
You won't believe this when I tell you something here, but can you believe that Ewan McGregor is 40 years old? You look about 28. You look.
You're very kind, thank you.
Have you had any work done? Have you tightened anything up, or have you had the neck done, or pulled behind the ears?
Nothing up above the neck.
Nothing above the neck.
I had my ball sack done a little bit, but...
I
was getting a bit droopy, but...
Was that the Botox injection you had down there?
No, I had it actually cut and re-stapled on.
Yeah.
It's called a scrotalectomy.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap either.
But fun.
But my balls look great now, so it's good.
You could eat your dinner off his balls, that's good enough. You had a bit of a wild period when you were first successful, or not? Because now I know you're pretty calm. You don't drink at all. You don't go crazy.
I haven't done for a long, long time. No, not for 11 years or something. I did, like anyone else. It was the 90s, and I was quite...
So you had a wild period, but it wasn't too crazy, or were there periods where you didn't know where you were?
No, it was quite crazy sometimes. Okay. But not out of the ordinarily. So, I mean, I wasn't alone, you know. It was during that kind of post-Trainspotting phase where... Oasis were huge, and Blur, and it was the mid-90s, and the Brit, you know, it was very cool to be young and British. And
especially, and to be young British and a star in possibly the hippest movie of the time, because that must have been craziness.
So it was an amazing time, and I enjoyed myself a lot. But it just got to the point, it wasn't any real drama about it, it just got to the point where I couldn't keep it all, you know, I was married, I had a kid, I had a good career, and I was trying to be a very good drinker as well. So it was just it was the best one to go.
Ewan, you know, you've got one of those careers where you do a lot of work here in the UK, kind of sometimes smaller movies, indie-type movies. I know your new movie is, I guess, a smaller piece.
Small film, yeah, Perfect Sense, which is coming out next Friday.
October the 7th it comes out. Well, let's talk about that now. I was going to talk about other stuff first. It's a very strange, very bold, very memorable premise for a movie. Describe it for people, set it up.
Well, it's a love story, essentially. set against the backdrop of the series of epidemics that hit humankind, the whole of the world, are struck by these epidemics where the human race starts to lose its senses one by one. So everybody across the world experiences like a moment of extreme rage, and afterwards they've lost their sense of... The first one to go is the sense of smell. And this happens all around the world till the whole of humankind has lost its sense of smell. Then there's another one which is the sense of taste, hearing, and so forth. And I play a chef, so once the sense of smell and taste go, you know, we're a bit stuffed. But I'm also an optimistic chef, and I decide that we can carry on and people will still want to, you know, go out and enjoy each other's company, and so we start cooking in a very different way. And Ava Green, who's a very beautiful actress, who I play opposite in The Love Story, is an epidemiologist.
Now, is there such a thing?
There is. It's somebody who studies epidemiology.
Well,
I'm so pleased I said it right the first time. I had to say it again. Oh, dear. There we are.
This is Perfect Sense. It's out all over the UK on October the 7th. Have a look at this.
I'm Michael. I work in the restaurant there. I'm a chef.
Good for you.
I'm pathetic. What do you want from me?
Just what your opinion.
It could be environmental, it could be a toxin we know nothing about. There's nothing that matches anything we know.
Don't panic. It was a crazy evening.
Man down! Man down!
They want us at the hospital. There's over 100 reported cases in England. They've got them in France, Italy, Spain. I think it's okay to panic now.
Woof.
How do you prepare for a movie like that in which losing the sense of smell or sight or taste, they're pretty big steps for a character in a movie.
Yeah.
Do you prepare for that? Do you try and prepare yourself by experiencing that, you know, blindfolding yourself?
Well, it's a difficult one, really. The hardest one to do was hearing, because in the scenes we played with each other, when you can't hear each other, we kept reacting to noises and sounds and stuff.
You would do that, yeah,
we kept having to remind each other, you couldn't hear me say that, or... Because the idea is we can still make noise, or you might try to make noise as a human, but the other person wouldn't be able to hear it, so... You
kind of know going in that these kind of movies aren't going to be... They're not going to be blockbusters.
Maybe not, yeah. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But maybe. If enough of you go and see it and then tell your friends...
I guess it's as simple as that. Yeah, you know what? We never know. I mean,
No.
you want people to see it, you want people to see your work, and you want people to see that film, but...
No, I just love... I just love stories, really. And I don't have a favourite... I suppose the smaller stuff is nicer. You know everybody on the crew. Whereas on a big film, there's like maybe 500 or 600 people in the set, and you don't really know who anyone is, and it's a bit less personal.
It must be really weird, though, on a film like the Star Wars movies, where you go, not only is it a huge production and there's a legacy, but also some of the actors aren't even there. I mean, you're performing against, you know,
and I had less and less as we went along. I don't know if they just didn't like me, or I think it's true to say they didn't like me. And as we went along, I had less and less people to work with. By the third one, they send me off on some chase through I can't even remember where I went. Somewhere, Tatooine or somewhere.
Yeah, it wasn't Tatooine.
No?
No.
Well, you probably know where it was.
I do know.
Off I went on my own, and I spent 3 months on a green stage.
You were riding a
like
giant
this.
lizard.
Oh, yes, that's right, I did.
Well, when you were filming the giant...
That looked a bit like your desk in reality.
But so you were riding on something like this?
I rode something like your desk.
So you were sitting on something like this and going...
The worst moment for me was the very end of this whole big Star Wars trilogy. I deliver the baby. Who is it I deliver? It's... I deliver Luke Skywalker, right, to Uncle Owen and Aunt Peru. And
Hold on. Have you seen your films?
Yeah. It was quite a long time ago, and it is difficult to follow.
Yeah,
so I arrived on set to deliver the baby, right? And I had some friends there, and I said, come on, this is a big moment. I'm delivering Luke Skywalker to Uncle Peru, Aunt Peru, and Uncle Owen. I'm delivering... It's a big moment, this. Come and see. So I walked down the set, my mates are behind the monitors there with George and whatever, and there's a green box like this, just like this bit, right? And it's green, and the whole set is green. And I come on with a plastic baby wrapped in a towel, and I'm like this. Where's my... I arrived on a lizard or something. I went, where's my thing? Where's the thing I arrive on? And they went, there it is. I had to get off it and stuff, so this is what I had to do. With my friends watching, and George there, I was like this. It didn't move or anything. There was no gimbal. I went like this, and then I had to go like this. Oh. And I went over. I went over and gave them the baby, right? And I gave them the baby to Uncle Peru. Aunt Peru. Uncle Owen. And Aunt Peru was on a big hill there, a green mound.
Yeah, it's waving.
And she gives a wee look to Uncle Owen. And then I hear George's from the background going, "Look at the moons! Look at the moons!" And everyone goes like this, because nobody knows where they are, the moons. And then I'm walking back to my block. And I didn't know if he'd turned round or not, you know, so I just got back on and I went like that.
Well, that's a marvellous anecdote. And, you know, that makes sense.
That was it.
Well, I didn't know why you rode him off backwards at the end. Ewan, we're going to take a break, but I've got lots more on our show. I know you've got a lot more you want to give.
There's an awful lot more I've got to give.
Don't go away. Ewan McGregor will be here, and we have music from CeeLo Green coming up after this. Welcome back. Ewan McGregor is still here, ladies and gentlemen. And we have CeeLo Green coming up to play for us at the end of the show right over there. It's a great track. One thing that I've always admired about you is the fact that you're very comfortable with your own skin, with nudity in films when the part demands it. You also seem very comfortable playing gay men.
Yeah.
And you're a straight man.
Yes.
But you seem very comfortable. You played a lot of gay men, from my perspective, very convincingly.
I've never found it that much of a problem. I don't mind it. I mean...
You don't look forward to it, or you like...
No, I
sometimes
don't.
look forward to it?
I mean, I don't...
If you found a man attractive, I think you probably find me quite attractive. Most
Did
people
you?
do.
Did you ever... Did you kiss a man?
I'd never kissed a man knowingly.
Do you want to kiss me now? Come on, go.
No,
have a go.
hold on.
Come on.
I don't know whether I'm ready for
Have a wee kiss. I'll be all right.
On the cheek?
No, on the lips.
On the lips?
Yeah.
I'll do it on my terms.
Okay.
Okay. I tell you what, I can do it, but for me, if I was acting, I would need to think of a lady. And can I make you a tiny bit more like a lady? Talisa, let me borrow that, because I think if you're looking a little more, you know...
No, I think she has to put it on.
Oh, OK.
Come over here. I don't want you to put it on.
Okay. I don't want to wear any, because I'm going to be... This helps me psychologically, because I then think of you as a beautiful, short-haired Scottish lady. I'm saving this as a treat for myself.
I'll leave you lovely ladies to it.
Thank you, Talisa. Can I be honest with you?
Stand up.
Can I be honest with you? That's quite a lot worse.
No. Come on, come on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a voyage of discovery for me as much as anything, and it was a playful moment for you. And Ewan, great to have you back on the show. Thank you so much, Ewan McGregor, ladies and gentlemen. So good to have you. Thank you. Thanks to all my guests, Ewan McGregor, of course, and the fabulous Alan Partridge and Gary and Talisa as well. Thank you, guys. Lovely to have you here. But now we've got more to give you because performing Cry Baby, it's a great track. It is the one, the only CeeLo Green.
Baby, if this makes you cry, darling, I didn't mean it. Next time I should lie. The truth is inconvenient. I bet if you try, you can live without me. Really don't know why you bother to cry about me. Cry, cry, baby. I just stand out the bad guy now. Cry, cry, baby. Just like all the other ones. Cry, cry, baby. When you cry, sad to say I've said it. We should say goodbye. Oh, this time really made it. When some time goes by, I'm sure you'll feel better. If she needs to cry, maybe I should let her. Oh, cry, cry, baby. I can stir up the bad guy now. Cry, cry, baby. Just like all the other ones. Oh, cry, cry, baby. Oh, help me find a way. What more can I say to you? Oh, cry, cry, baby. Guess I'll have the bad guy now. Cry, cry, baby. Just like all the other ones. Oh, cry, cry, baby. Build a wall around your heart. Hey, cry, cry, baby. And swear you'll never love again. I say, oh, 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 cry, cry, baby, cry, baby. Don't wanna see you cry, baby, cry, baby.
CeeLo Green, ladies and gentlemen, and his fabulous band. That's great.
Yes, no one brings in the big-name guests like he does, and I'm not talking about Alan Partridge. Lady Gaga, Lee Evans and Jamie Oliver all join Jonathan next Saturday. And tomorrow night, a wry look back on the week gone by. Adrian Charles is here with that Sunday night show at 10:15.